I hate this world. I want to crush it. I want to crush the world. The world is mine for the crushing. Cards at San Francisco. Stewart Pace, you handsome gentleman. Go.
My of the mighty have fallen. Everyone expected the Cardinals to be, vying for a Super Bowl run here, and with the likelihood of Palmer not even playing because he has a concussion or something of some sort. Anyway, he looked to be out of it physically even before he got hurt. Stanton is the guy as of this recording for the Cardinals right now. So they're favored by 3, but the Niners D played Dallas well. So I'm really not sure, but I'm going to take San Francisco here if Carson Palmer is not playing because, you know what? I haven't been right often, so why not go with your gut instinct and then reverse it?
Well, one of us is going to be right, and neither one of us has been right very often
That's
this
right.
season. I'm going with the Cardinals basically based on my opinion of them last year. Stanton was Lincoln's vice president or Secretary of State or something like that. Tough old bird, that's Stanton. And those Michigan State guys seem to come out and play pretty well when they're forced into it. Anyway, I don't think Palmer. It's Tuesday. They weren't sure, but you've got an old cranium like me, Stu, and Carson Palmer. You're probably not coming back in time. I watched a lot of the San Francisco-Dallas game. I don't know that I saw San Francisco's defense be as impressive as you did.
Kept it close.
I like the Cardinals' explosiveness, so I am taking the Cardinals. Maybe it's based on reputation, but that's my pick.
All right.
Brady at the Browns.
The Brady's back. Mr. Brady's back, and it's gonna be trouble. And the trouble is...
Hey now, Tom Brady's back.
Can you imagine how many points he's going to throw up against this Cleveland team just to piss everybody off? I don't care how big the line is. Take the over. Brady's going to score 45 points on his own. What is Cleveland going to do? I mean, they've got Crowell running pretty well, but it's the Patriots with Brady back. Belichick can't outsmart his team that he was with. Yeah, Pats.
Coming off of a loss where they were shut out, but still off to a great start. There's no way they lose this game. Let's just move on to Eagles at Lions, I should say. Go, Stu.
Dear Diary, it's been a week since we could gloat about Carson Wentz. Philadelphia. Coming off the bye here, and their D has played well. Brandon Graham has 3 sacks for them this season. Who? That's what I said when I looked at the stats. Who the hell's Brandon Graham? Well, the guy's averaging a sack a game here, and that's a pretty good start for any guy in this league. Lions are going to be the Lions. Lions be the Lions. I'd like to take Detroit here in an upset, but the skeptic in me is telling me that Philadelphia is going to go 4-0. Not sure that they can, but, my instinct was Lions, so I'm going Philadelphia.
I felt the exact same way. I actually found this a tougher game to pick than when you first look at it, you go, okay, Eagles are going to win this game. Eagles were off to a great start. Eagles got rid of the anchor that was Chip Kelly, evidently. Did he, what did he do? Did he drug defensive players and to make them not play? It's amazing the difference that maybe getting a little rest, maybe not being on the field every 10 seconds has made for the Eagles defense, and I think that's what makes the difference here. And, maybe we're seeing something special out of this kid out of North Dakota. I mean, maybe he was underappreciated. We've also seen guys get off to fast starts and tail off, but until I see that actually happen, I'm going with the Eagles.
I mean, teams they didn't have any tape on this kid. You're 4 games in now. Well, 3 games for them. They had the bye. There's enough tape to look at. If there's a good defensive coordinator out there, they're going to figure it out eventually.
We've got Chicago at the Colts, and I'm going to let you keep going because I scratched this one out twice, and I need a coin to flip.
Well, the Bears squeaked one out against Detroit last week, and the Colts are in disarray after losing in London to Jacksonville. And interestingly, I thought any team that played overseas usually had the next week off as a bye week. Jacksonville does. The Colts do not. Granted, they're home, but
they just don't like them.
But, you played Sunday morning in London and you had to fly back to Indianapolis, and now you're going to play another game. I don't know how fair that is to them. Anyway, they still should be the better team here, and Luck took 6 sacks last week, and I just don't think the Bears are going to be able to pressure him enough like that. It was a close game to begin with. I think the Bears are worse than Jacksonville, so I'm going to take sleepless in Indianapolis.
I'm with you on it, but I swear, I scratched this game off like, I circled the Bears, and then I scratched them, and then I circled the Colts, and I scratched them. And I just thought to myself, these are two teams with GMs that really have a lot of splaining to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Lucy, why did you pick this awful offensive lineman? No, it's hard. I mean, sorry, my Desi Arnaz is not good.
You'll see.
My Desi Arnaz Jr. His is not bad. Was Desi Arnaz Sr. somebody? Like, why do you have to say Desi Arnaz Jr.? Anyway, they're two teams that really have not built core players in their teams. They have a Gore player, but they don't have a core player.
And typos?
Yeah, I mean, Frank Gore is a good example. Like, a great player, a guy I appreciate, wish he'd never, ripped up his leg in his last game in college, whatever. But not the guy that you're going to put around Andrew Luck for long-term success. Anyway.
And how is Luck in the league now? I mean, it's got to be 5th or 6th year easily,
right? And he's starting to leave body parts behind because they can't get an offensive line.
Yeah.
When the Jaguars are ragdolling you all over the Piccadilly Circus, you got a problem.
I say, mate, do you need help up?
They said something like it was this 13th game they've played in London or something like that. Good God, just go ahead and put a team there.
No,
I hate,
never.
I know. Electric football says no to the Brits.
I do like getting up at 9:30, though, and seeing football.
That was kind of cool, actually. I like my bacon and eggs and a little pig skin on the side. Anyway, Stu, it's Titans at your Dolphins.
What a clusterfuck the Miami Dolphins are. And I don't say that lightly. I mean that sincerely. No identity on this team. You got a bunch of veterans who haven't taken leadership of this team, a quarterback with no pocket presence, a defense that's just on the field way too long. I mean, they can only be on the field, 49 minutes and keep you in a game here. The Titans should just run Murray and Henry all day out. Just run the ball. We've got the armless in Seattle defense here. Nobody knows how to tackle on this team. But I'm a homer, and
Would that be the armless in Tallahassee?
Wherever they are. Well, this game's in Miami, or as I call it, House at Poop Corner Stadium. I think Miami gets it done here, though. I just don't think the Titans. I know I haven't picked them this year at all, but I think this might be the game that they can win and have 2 whole wins this year.
All right, I'm going with the Titans for all the reasons Stu explained, and then pick this Dolphins.
It's every reason not to.
God bless them. A simple offensive game plan and just force Tannehill to try and win a game for the Dolphins.
Stack the line. He doesn't know how to get out of the way.
That's all you really need to do there. And, I would think that the Titans can manage that. He is loyal, though.
I am loyal.
Washington at the Ravens.
Oh, I have the Redskins. Do you no longer say that?
I'm trying not to.
Baltimore loses last minute to Oakland. Redskins crush Cleveland. That doesn't matter in this game. I think the Skins have a chance here, but they've given up 112 points so far, and I think it's the most thus far in the season. But I will still take Flacco to Steve Smith here. I just think the Ravens at home have a little magic there and beat the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Ravens are the more physical team. They're a better coached team. I think the Redskins have dissension in their locker room. I think there's a lot of finger pointing at both Cousins and at Gruden. And I think that they're going to have to move on after this season or maybe midway through this season.
You never know. Crazy owner.
I would not be surprised to see massive changes in Washington soon, and I'm going to take Baltimore in this one.
Well, I think this game goes right to you, Mr. Brown.
Texans at the Vikings, and the Texans are going to roll in this game. Texans win this one easily, and you know why I say that? Because we won again when I picked against us, and I'm sticking with it. Oh, man, we looked good. Oh, there's a flutter in my chest. What is that? My heartbeat. First time I felt it since the 80s, really. No, I am honestly... I am becoming a believer. I love the way we tackle. We are a sure tackling team. I love that Eli was so scared of our pass rush that he just drilled the ball into the ground.
He was
repeatedly.
He got into the line, and he didn't know. I don't think he knew what he was looking at. That was the first time I've actually seen Eli Manning flustered, not just for a little while. I mean, usually he catches on. He looked flustered the entire game. Didn't know what was coming, where it was coming from. They played great.
Yeah, and we're playing good in all facets except for Blair Walsh, or the Blair Walsh Project, as they're now calling him, evidently, which I thought, those Minnesota fans can be sneaky funny. Anyway, I'm taking the Texans, but I love what we're doing. The only thing I kind of didn't like was Matt Asiata as a short yardage back. I remember him being a little more impressive than he was last night.
He looks slow.
Um,
But, I mean, you got to give a little to the Giants' defense. It's supposed to be a stellar defensive line. They're not showing it.
no, they didn't.
But
show
it's
it at
hard
all.
to move against those four guys.
Okay, point. And,
I'll give you that.
our offensive line might need a little work. We're not like, oh my God, this is a dynasty team. But right now, we're one of the top 4 in the NFL, and I'll take that any season.
2 or 3 elite quarterbacks.
Oh,
you beat Manning, you beaten
Rodgers, we beat Newton, and we beat him up.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't beat Eli up because he wouldn't throw the ball.
I know, man. Looks like me back there. Down.
We'll talk about the Giants later, but there's some dissension in that room too. Anyway, Stu, what do you think?
Vikings are giving up the least amount of points so far this season. I believe it's only 50 over 4 games. That's pretty damn impressive, man. Your defense looks great. And I said Bradford isn't there to win the game for you. He's there to manage the game. Your receivers, who I had to look, I forgot who Charles Johnson was. I forgot I liked him years ago when they brought him on. Looked great last night. I'm liking the Vikings here. I've been picking them all year for you so far, and I'm sticking with it. So you pick against, I'll pick for them. No, win, everyone's happy.
We need the brittle guys.
Skull!
We need the brittle guys to stay healthy. Every time Rudolph touches the ball, I get nervous. Bradford stayed clean all last night and has
hardly any pressure.
No turnovers. So we're playing the exact kind of ball we have to play as a Mike Zimmer-led team.
How do you like Olivier Vernon now, Giants fans? You paid a lot of money for that.
No, I'll tell you what, though. He was the only one doing anything at all last night, as far as I could tell, for the Giants. I was actually impressed by him.
No, not me.
Okay. Well,
I hate him.
Difference of opinion there. Jets at Steelers.
Well, I'm off the Steelers bandwagon. No, I'm kidding. Look, the offense for Pittsburgh is great. With Le'Veon Bell coming back, it showed. That game wasn't even close. And they give up 2 touchdowns at the end of the game to Kansas City. Thankfully, that was the only game on DirecTV. If that was the only game you got to watch Sunday, you got screwed because that was boring. The Jets have Fitzpatrick, copyright 2016, Stuart Pace.
There it is, baby.
Yeah.
That's why you tune into this show.
Fitzpatrick, 9 picks in 2 games.
Oh, he cut his interceptions in half.
Yeah, he did. That was great. There's trouble in Jetland. The line is a touchdown. I think it should be bigger. I am taking the Steelers.
You know, it's really impressive based on the talent that we perceive as New York, New Jersey area fans, and what we've been fed.
I like no New York, New Jersey area fans.
No,
teams.
No, neither do I. But I mean, this
surrounded by them.
We get the news from the Jets and the Giants, and everyone was excited for the Jets this season. Everyone was excited about the receivers. Everybody was excited when we got Fitzpatrick back.
You're all going to be saying it now. It's like an earworm.
Plus, if you are New Jersey, do you remember they used to have that thing on TV where the kids would try and do like a video game and they would go like Pix, Channel 11?
No.
WPIX? Never mind. There was a
Never
thing.
watched Channel 11.
Well, my friends know what I'm talking about. Anyway, there's no way you're picking the Jets here. Steelers at home, back to what they do right now. An amazingly explosive offensive team, fully healthy. And the Jets are looking around going, Gino, Bryce,
someone,
Christian Hackenberg. Didn't we used to have a Sims around here somewhere? Like they're actually starting to talk about making changes at the QB and developing the young guys for the future and all that sort of thing. Doesn't bode well.
No, and plus with Brandon Marshall having backed Fitzpatrick to come all the way back after that long extended holdout, maybe the GM of the Jets knew something that we didn't want to pay him a lot of money because this is what he is.
Oh, no, they wanted him, and they thought they had a run in him, and right now, they just don't. And unless they turn it around real quick with a tough schedule in front of them, Jets fans are in for a long, painful, same old Jets season.
Yep.
Falcons at Denver.
Ryan and Jones explode last week against a Carolina team that was just picked to go to the Super Bowl again. I mean, it was kind of like they're going to go, and that's the end of that. But this Broncos defense is just stupid good. And it looks like Patrick Lynch just made Trevor Siemian trade bait for anyone else because he came in and nothing changed. More touchdowns. It's like they've got this carousel where most teams are looking for one good guy, and they have three. It'll be tough for Atlanta to duplicate that effort that they had against Carolina last week. I'm taking Denver until they lose.
Yeah, I'm with you. An amazing week for Ryan and Julio Jones. They had some guys in a day. They had what some guys have in a career. But Denver's defense is special. They're at home. As Stewart said, whatever they're feeding them, they grow quarterbacks out there like Idaho grows potatoes. And ride the hot hand, ride the hot horse. I mean, ride the horse that brought you. I don't know what to say, but
so many horses, so little time.
Yeah, there's no way to expect the Falcons to be able to do that against the Denver defense. Carolina's defense has suddenly become very suspect. Like, what happened to them
It was a train wreck nightmare of a day, and I have Cam Newton in fantasy, and so naturally he's injured.
There's an old saying, it's hard to eat when you're full, and maybe that Carolina, maybe they got fat and happy.
They made them kings before they got the crown.
All right, Bengals at the Cowboys.
A.J. Green is awesome. And he played Miami last week, and it showed. He had a field day against Miami. But the Cowboys have an offense, and Miami doesn't. So this game, against Miami doesn't show that Cincinnati's a great team. It just shows how deplorable my team is here. Elliott should be able to find some running room in this game, and Dak just keeps doing it. He has no picks yet? Is that what I read? He has no interceptions yet through 4 games? For a rookie quarterback, the guy's in command. He makes the plays. I can't go against Dallas here at all. It's Dallas.
And has been since the preseason.
Yeah.
And everyone's acting like, well, why didn't we pick him in the second round? Or why didn't we get him in the first round? But, hindsight is 20/20. And for the people that are saying, like, well, Romo should just stay on the bench, I don't think that's right. I think at this point in his career, Tony Romo deserves the chance to come back and not get Wally pipped.
Yeah, but if he's smart, he'd stay out.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. As good as the Cowboys have played offensively, I like what the Bengals front seven can do here. I think they can hold up against that great offensive. Wow. Offensive line. Wow.
Check, please.
Chicken marsala, by the way, for dinner tonight.
Yep, I can tell.
Yeah, you can probably tell. Anyway, I like what the Bengals defense should be able to do here, and I think Dalton to Green is a dangerous combination, and I'm taking the Bengals, and I hate the Cowboys.
I'm surprised, but okay, I'll go with that. Bills-Rams. Stevie.
Okay, maybe I let the Rams' first couple of games offensively make too much of an impression on me because suddenly the Rams are a dangerous team.
Mm-hmm.
I like them here to beat the Bills. I know the Bills were impressive last week. Shutting out the Patriots doesn't happen very often. But I really don't see the way that the Bills move the ball against this Rams defense. I think they're at Los Angeles, and I think they might be fired up to have a special kind of season. Yes, they do have Case Keenum as their quarterback, but he's getting the job done.
Yeah.
So I am going with the Rams.
So you shut out the Patriots. Congratulations. Next game, now you got to travel to L.A. Fisher's got this team playing, people were writing Fisher off a season or two ago.
I was writing him off after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and now, he's kind of reignited this team. Case Keenum is managing the game. Defense has their moments of brilliance. They're not great, but they make the plays when they need to, as from what I've seen. And I suspect the Bills' offense are going to make some big plays to win a close one here. Tyrod Taylor has been playing very well for Buffalo, and that's despite Watkins being out. He looks more comfortable this year than he did last year, more confident. I'm taking the Bills.
Good point on Watkins, though. You're starting to wonder if he's going to be one of those guys that just can't stay on the field. And it's a shame because, Clemson guy for one thing. And by the way, Clemson with a big win.
What a game. He fell asleep for it. I saw it.
At the end.
I'm watching the Vikings. I'm watching Clemson. He's sleeping.
Vikings with a big win. Good week for me.
Yeah. Blue.
Doesn't happen too often. Chargers. Believe me, when my teams were on primetime, I'm like, oh. Chargers at Raiders. Go Stu.
Good game.
Go Stu.
You know what? This is a good game. This is the old AFC West where any team can win. I used to love watching Kansas City and Chargers and the Raiders and the Broncos play each other because no matter how bad the other team was, they always got up for each other and played well. And this is one of those games. Chargers lost despite scoring 34 points. If you lose scoring 34 points, then your defense sucks. The problem here was that they gave up the 35. Rivers is no Drew Brees. And I just like the mojo of the silver and black right now. So I am going to take the Oakland Raiders.
It actually feels like an AFL game because this is just going to be like shootout city.
Yeah.
Both defenses kind of suck.
Yeah.
And I expect both teams to score in the 30s. This might be one of those last team with the ball kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But I like the Raiders too here at home. And I kind of like what they got going. I mean, if they could get in the next year or two, maybe a pass rushing defensive line. No, they're not that far off.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those teams, we all get like this with teams. I was like this with Jacksonville early this season. We've been like this with the Houston Texans for the last couple of years. You look at the team and you go, one or two pieces. And I'm really starting to feel like the Raiders are that, and only on one side of the ball.
Yep.
I feel like they're only one or two pieces away, whereas I feel like the Chargers are one or two pieces away from falling apart completely. No, I'm serious.
I agree.
I mean, like you said, they had similar games last week. It's a close game, but it really feels like one team's on the verge of collapse and one team's on the verge of something special, just a player or two shy.
And I think you can see in the coaches' faces, Del Rio is smiling on the sideline. He's loving this second chance at life as far as being a head coach again, and he's taking full advantage of it. San Diego on the sidelines kind of like, oh, I got to go out again. I thought we won. Oh, crap.
This game isn't over?
Oh, man. Why don't we play in the East Coast? This would have been over 3 hours ago.
Giants at Green Bay, and I got to tell you, the Giants are starting to have a little dissension in the room, and we're starting to wonder if Ben McAdoo don't have a job for very long.
Yeah. And doesn't he look like Bunchy from Ray Donovan? Just a thought to put out.
I don't know what that means, but all I could think of is why would you wear that mustache? And then he tries to hide it behind those giant play charts. Those giant play charts.
Roast beef for dinner last night.
Seriously, the giant play charts aren't really helping you when your quarterback drops back and just drills the ball into the ground. No, think about how Archie Manning played as a young, especially when he was on like a crappy Saints team and finishing out his career on a crappy Vikings team. And I think he was on a crappy Houston team in there.
I don't remember Houston,
but he was the kind of guy that like never gave up on a play and was trying to make things happen with his feet and his scrambling, and Eli is capable of that, or we wouldn't have had the David Tyree catch on the head. But they look like a team ready to surrender,
yeah. And
they also look like a team that are having an awful lot of trouble with a diva wide receiver who was pouting like you couldn't believe in this game. They look like a team that can't figure out whether they should feed Odell the ball or tell him to sit on the bench and knock the crap off. And they look like a team in a lot of trouble.
No, the Vikings took him out of the game early.
Oh.
He was never a factor.
Xavier Rhodes did a great job.
Yep.
I love what they were doing with the safeties where they were dropping them off to cover the underneath routes and take away the slants.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mike Zimmer. I mean, damn it, we're good.
Yeah.
Gia, where are you, buddy? We're good. You know
it's nice
we're good.
To say that, yeah.
Mighty Gazelle, we're good. We're good. Anyway, as much as I would like to pick the Giants to eliminate the Packers from our division and let us just start worrying about our championship stroll, I see them ripping apart a Giants team that is on the verge of collapse, really. They seem like a team with a young, inexperienced, I should say, not necessarily young coach, who doesn't know how to handle this adversity right now, especially on the offensive side. And quite frankly, you were talking about it. I thought Vernon did an okay job. I thought he penetrated. I thought he was did some disrupting of the Vikings. Tell me another Giant you could say that of, including their linebackers are just not even there. They're like ghosts. So, give me the Pack fairly easily in this one.
I'm going to disagree. I mulled over this game because after watching the full Giants game last night, I was like, how can I go, pick against the Packers here? But
Yeah, how can you?
here's why. The Packers are coming off a bye. Their offense is not the offense of old. Eddie Lacy's not gaining yards. Aaron Rodgers has looked, down to earth as you could be this year. Odell just shut up and play. I don't know. The brain is saying Pack because it's the Giants' second road game in 2 weeks. But my gut says Giants. This just seems like one of those games where you go, how the frig did they win that game? And I'm going to go with the how the frig did they win that game gut feeling.
And we do have some guts here.
No, we do. I'm not even going backwards to show you.
Tampa Bay
I ate the baby.
What? I didn't go
I'm
eat your
fat
baby.
bastard.
Tampa Bay at Carolina. And am I the only one that thought Cam could have avoided that hit? Like, if you watch that, it looked like he actually sought that hit out.
He kind of just stood there like, hit me.
And he went, he was sort of,
straight
he was very upright. It was bizarre. Like, it seemed to me like most quarterbacks would have sort of,
How about hand the ball off and get on the side?
No. I mean, he's a running quarter. I mean, he's capable of that sort of thing. It was a very odd end to that play where he seemed to just stand straight up and go into the defender as if, like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Versus just sort of diving and sneaking the ball over and being done with it. And now, concussion protocol.
Yep.
So that's going to play big into this. These are two desperate teams. These are two teams coming off of what were supposed to be good preseasons. Carolina coming off a Super Bowl season. Tampa Bay was a big popular pick, including by me. I thought they were on their way. Jameis Winston was great rookie season, gonna progress, big wide receivers, tough defensive line. Here's the moment where Tampa Bay makes the jump, and they're crapping the bed. So, tough game to pick. Can't understand what's happened to Carolina's defense. Did Kuechly and Davis retire?
Kuechly was out there, but
did Josh Norman play like 4 different positions? Is losing him really that big of a deal? Like, did it really make that big of a difference? It certainly hasn't made that great of a difference for Washington.
Yeah, well, he was a product of the rest of the team.
It's hard to explain.
One part doesn't make the whole team.
A couple weeks ago, I thought these were both playoff teams. After this week, only one of them is really realistically going to have a shot at being a playoff team. And I think that team is going to be the Carolina Panthers. I think they will win this one at home just based on pure talent and guts. And I'll probably be wrong. Stu?
Yeah, I don't have much to add here. I just think that the Carolina team is better built to withstand a horrible loss like that and come back. They're home. Tampa Bay doesn't impress me. I don't know. I don't follow Tampa Bay much. I don't watch their games. I just don't like them, so I don't watch them. Carolina just has the better talent overall. If Cam doesn't play, I think it changes the game. If Winston can somehow play like a Cam Newton for one game, I think they can win. But I'm just taking the home team. Okay. I don't have a lot to add to that. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's
you wasted 30 seconds of your life right there.
And you wasted 30 minutes of your life watching electric football week 5, 2016. But we appreciate you guys joining us for a pint or a...
Love the comments. Keep them coming. Dolphin 316, thanks for checking in.
And Xander, we love you. Whoever, Half Moon, Geo, guys, let's talk some football in the comments.
Yeah, anyway, don't forget to watch the other guys' videos too. See you next week.
We'll see you.
Bye.